Today I'm going to show you how to get your models from Blender into Roblox Studio with all the textures. Now as you can see, this is meant to be a traffic cone, but there's no textures on it. If I go into rendered mode, there is nothing at all. But the slight issue with this method, and actually every other method to do with Blender, is the fact that you cannot actually import any materials into Roblox. And by materials I simply mean when you go to the materials tab and you're creating them here, if I was to change the color of this and I try to import that, that's not going to go into Roblox Studio. Now I don't really know why they don't have support for that, because that would be very useful, but there is a really simple workaround and I'm going to show you how to do it now. So for this method, we're going to be using smart UV wrapping. And if you're unsure of what that means, essentially all we're doing is we're unwrapping or unpacking the mesh, getting all the faces, placing it onto a 2D map, and then we can add colors to whatever faces we want. So let's get started. First of all, make sure you are actually in the shading mode, which can be toggled up in the top left-hand corner, or you can hold down Z and click on Material Preview. And then we can move on to UV Wrapping. So first of all, what you want to do is hit Control A and hit All Transform so that we have everything applied. If you have any modifiers, make sure to also apply them as well, because we don't want that interfering with our UV mapping. Then you're going to hit Tab to go into Edit Mode. And then you just want to hit A, which is just going to select everything for us. Press U until you see Smart UV Project. You want to keep pretty much everything as it is and just click OK. So now this has actually generated a Smart UV project map for us to work with. So to access that, all we're going to do is go up in the top left, and this is kind of tricky to show on film, but in the top left there's kind of a bit where this border disconnects, and you can actually pull that out to drag another window out. So drag another window out until it looks how you want it to, and then you can simply go up to this little drop down box here and click UV editor, and you can see that when we've got our mesh selected, the UV map that is respective to it pops up as well. And if we deselect that or go into object mode, it will also disappear. So make sure you're always in edit mode, you always have everything highlighted, and yeah, that's all you really need for now. So the next thing we're going to need to actually have is a color palette. Now I've linked a really good one in my Discord server. It just contains so many different colors and things like that, because what we're essentially doing here is we're taking the color values from a color palette and mapping it onto here. We can't just use some sort of color wheel to determine what kind of colors we want. It has to be from a color palette image. So once you have that downloaded, head up into the open section and you want to look for where your palette is saved. So mine is just called Color Drop Original, and then just open the image and you'll see that it gets really enlarged. So just use your mouse wheel to scroll out, and now we're actually ready to map our faces to these colors. So what we need to do is actually come over to our little material menu and create a new material. Click new, and then on the base color value, you'll see there's a yellow dot. If you just press that, it'll come up with a bunch of different things you can select. Click on image texture, and now it's going to ask us to select an image texture. So just click on this little drop down and click our color palette that we've just made. And you can see that if we look at it now, it's actually got all of our colors on it. And you can see that it's respective to these faces. But obviously this is not how we want it to look, because it is very ugly. So I want mine to be orange and white, and I'm going to show you how to put different colors in different places. So first of all, let's make these faces a little smaller, because you can see they're taking up a lot of different colors. So we sort of only want one color per section that we want to actually make it. So I'm just going to hit A and just press S and scale it all the way down until it is absolutely tiny. But I want mine to be orange, so make sure you've got everything selected by pressing B and holding left click to drag out an area, and that will select everything. Then you can press G to move it around anywhere you want, and you can see that our colors actually change with it. So I want this to sort of be a darkish orange, so I'm going to go with this one. So just left click whenever you want to finalize that, and you can press tab to go back and see exactly how it looks. But I want some white stripes on my traffic cone, so I've already subdivided it, but you can do that in the modeling section. So I've added these other faces that kind of act like dividers, and I'm not going to go through that now, but you can do that by adding rings to your objects by doing Control R, and you can see that I can actually add rings wherever I want. I can scroll up, scroll down to add as many rings as I want. So whenever you have a flat image like that, you can always do it that way. But for this, I want a white stripe for every other orange color. So I'm just going to hold Alt, and I'm in face select mode, which is 3 on your keyboard. I'm just going to hold Alt left click to select the first corner of the face, and then Alt Shift left click to select the other corner of the face, and then we're going to keep going all the way down until we've got our faces selected, and then I'm just going to select that last one as well. And there we go. So now we've actually got our faces selected. These will be the only ones selected in our UV editor. So if we press G again, you can see we can move them around and only those colors change. So I want this to be bright white. And there we go, I'd say that's looking pretty good. And now we're actually ready to import this into our game. But before we export it, we actually need to have our image ready in our Roblox game. So head into Roblox Studio and you want to go up to the View tab, click on Asset Manager, and it already may come up saying you may need to save to Roblox, publish to Roblox. Just follow those steps and then you should see this. Head into Images and then just click on this little bulk import button up here. Then it will ask you to find your color palette and then it will just upload like that. And now once it's actually in your Asset Manager, you're ready to import. So head back into Blender, select your object by just left clicking it, head up to File, Export, and then export as an FBX file. And then on the right side, we've got some options. So we're going to press Limit to Selected Objects. And then once you've selected that, just click Export FBX. Now head back into Roblox. And if you click on the Home tab, there's actually a button that says Import 3D. Just click that, and then you can just find your FBX model that you just saved, import it into your game, and you'll see now that our object has been imported. It's very big and it doesn't actually have any color, so we need to add the texture to it. So open up the little model that it's grouped in, click on the mesh part, then scroll down till you see texture ID. And in here, you want to scroll down until you see your color palette. And now once we apply it, you can see that all of our colors are actually on our model. And you can resize it however you like, and it doesn't change a thing with any of the colors. So there you go, that is how you get models into your Roblox game with the textures, and I hope this helped. If it did, please make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to comment what you want to see next, join our Discord server, link is in the description below. Also join our Roblox group, you get a really cool role in our Discord server if you're in both of them, and yeah, I'll see you later.